Welcome to the New York Outlook for Monday, the 4th of March 2024. Starting off with the economic calendar, as we know from the London session, there is no red folder news for today. So I'll move swiftly onto the charts from a 4H perspective. As we know, we are in a confirmed bearish market trend, with the objective being to ultimately target the 4H swing structure ERL right here. In terms of understanding 4H order flow, we understand that the pullback leg was extended last week by having this body break above this level right here, and then from that point onwards we went down into quite deeply into the pullback L-pause phase. We then wicked it on Friday, which then validated the pro-trend primary leg with the objective of targeting this 4-8 swing low. Since the pullback phase last point of supply isn't body broken but just wicked, we could validate the pro-trend primary leg because it is reacting to the pro-trend extreme, and thus we validated this pro-trend primary OB, which serves as a significant barrier for trading against counter trend, and thus in order to trade against this pro-trend primary OB, we require IRL to be developed, and then we can go ahead and target this. Alternatively, this pro-trend primary OB must be body broken, and then we'll know that we can target the remainder of this IRL with the objective of taking this and reaching deeper into the pro-trend extreme. So that's all from a counter trend perspective. From a pro-trend perspective, we know that given the market structure and the 4H OB is in support of the pro-trend move, the objective is to reach this 4H swing ERL. From a 5-minute perspective, if we were to trade long, what we would need is internal range liquidity to be developed as such, put in a new low of the day and then validate this low of the day before we can then consider trading this, with the objective of taking out all this IRL and perhaps also all the IRL to the left subsequently. However, that doesn't work right now, given that we're still within this 4H OB and we haven't really created any internal range liquidity, and in addition to that, the likelihood of the low of the day, a new low of the day being created below this is unlikely to then be validated in the New York session, given that we don't actually have red folder news to support any New York highs or low of the day. So for the New York session, what is the outlook here? Perhaps it's just, well, primarily it's just to focus on finding a short opportunity, and how we're going to do that is we have two options. Actually, we just have one option, provided that the London high of the day holds and then New York validates that this London high of the day is in control and is unlikely to be taken out. And how New York will do that is by breaking the low of this range, then returning to a reasonable level within this area, and then once that happens, we can look to take a trade with the objective of targeting this current day Asia liquidity that was unliquidated, then obviously the current high or low of the day, and then lastly with the ultimate objective of taking out the swing ERL right here. Given that today is a Monday, it's possible that we might form the high of the week, in which case we want to try and position ourselves well, and perhaps it's worth leaving the trade open over multiple days. So essentially what I'm waiting for is well, I have two things that I'm closely going to monitor. The first being that if New York puts in the high of the day, then I'm essentially done trading, as I can't validate why a New York high of the day should hold. However, if New York validates that the London high of the day is highly probable to hold, then what I will do is actually just wait for this to go, then anchor my FOB something like this, and I know that the average daily range for Feb was about 70 pips, so 70 times 0.7 is 49. Basically what I'm trying to do is ensure that when I anchor my FOB, whichever level I choose to trade from, so for example this level 5.7, 6.7, 8, so I'll make an 8 pip stop loss because I account for spreads, and then I want to ensure that I can reach a 1, 2, 3, which I clearly can. So the best level is probably this 38% level right here. So that's pretty much how I'd position myself once the London range is taken out right there, and then once that's done, then I'll break even once we wick this Asia liquidity, and my ultimate objective will probably be this, given that we don't have red for the news. So I'll partial at this point, and then I'll leave this trade open for the remainder of the week with the objective of targeting this for its swing low. Other than that, that's pretty much the New York outlook. I hope you have a good session, and we'll chat again for the end of day review.